All right, welcome everyone to Bass Fishing Live Thursday night. It is June 8th. We're in a little behind tonight. We got Josh on with us as usual, and his buddy Houston Tittle, who is working. He's in the middle of I don't know if you're making a rod, if you're finishing up or repairing, but he's in his workshop. So we're going kind of behind the scenes, looking at Houston. What's the name of your company?
F
F3.
F3 custom rods.
F3 custom rods, and so he's going to show us how it's done. And
What
so,
what I love about it is let's definitely say what F3 stands for sure, because that's my favorite part of the whole thing.
That is faith, family, and fishing.
there you go.
I love it, man.
In that order?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we was just wondering. Just wondering. So yeah, we got Josh is sharing it. We're waiting on some folks to get on. Looks like we got some guys on right now. Let me see the comments here. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone as well. Give me a second.
If you see any comments on the screen or anything, man, feel free to jump in and
I
talk.
think he might be too. He's on the phone. He's on his phone, so he might be a little too far away to see him.
Oh yeah, that's true. We can ask the questions.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm dumb as a box of rocks when it comes to this stuff. So,
Houston, you're just here to make a rod. Don't worry about anything else.
That's right. I actually, when you said your wife had to get it all set up, I wasn't surprised, Houston.
Thanks, man.
Jimmy Carroll, how you doing, my friend? Jimmy's on here. I'm trying to get it here on my phone so I can see who's watching, but I'm having some trouble. Houston, tell everybody where you located. What are you doing? You're in the Army. Tell us a little bit about you while people are joining us here.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm from middle of nowhere, Tennessee, Irwin, Tennessee. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's the size of a used gum wrapper.
I bet you somebody on here knows where it is.
The only thing we're famous for is hanging an elephant in like 1932,
Okay,
which is fine. I mean, nothing against elephants.
Right.
I joined the Army like 15 years ago and got out, started fishing some tournaments.
Yeah.
And realized, this is pretty much the best way on the planet to earn money. But
there you go.
When the rubber hits the road, you realize you have to get a big boy job. And
don't that suck?
It does. This is going to sound super cliche, but it was like the Lord himself was calling me back. He's like, dude, you know your place. And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, Lord, I do. I redeclared majors to graduate college early. And once I did that, back to the Army I went.
There you go.
And now I'm located out here with Josh in the Fort Campbell area. As my soon-to-be LLC, not only have I been dragging my feet, but I'm in the Army. I don't have time to breathe. Plus, I have 3 little blessings running around, which you guys will probably get to meet because, the shop is not sacred.
Fine by us, man. Fine by us. John and my little ones come in all the time when we're doing our show. So I
told mine to stay out. I bought a new. We went today. They've been playing the Nintendo Switch a lot since school's been out, and so we bought Mario Kart Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. We've been playing it all day, and I told them I kept finishing first. They kept finishing second. I said, I'm never letting you win. So, but it's been fun. So I told them to stay out.
That's the only way to keep them honest.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't let them win. Got to make them earn something.
No.
Yeah, so you tell us what you're doing right there, man.
So right now I am actually wrapping a rod for a buddy. Can't really disclose where the blank is from. I can promise you it is a high-end blank.
Well, one of my first questions is going to be what kind of blanks do you use? So let's just say, okay, let me ask you this. Let's don't disclose it. When you say high-end, what's the price point? Not for what you sell it for, But what's the price point for the blank that you have?
So I'll be dead honest with you. Most of the rods that I've got come from either North Fork Composites or Batson Enterprises. And
Right.
for us normal folks, that means either Rain Shadow or G Loomis rods.
Right.
I heard of Rain Shadow.
They're phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of the glass rods. They're the best cranking and chatterbait rods you'll ever put in your hand. I made Josh G Loomis. What was it? A 6'9"?
6'10", medium heavy. And guys, I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this because Houston's sitting here. I just talked to him the other day at work about it. But I've got some Shimano rods. I've got Daiwa rods. I've got St. Croix rods. I've got ugly sticks. I've got a little bit of everything. And Houston, he gave me that rod. I think it was back in around probably December timeframe, November, December of last year. And I'm telling you, when I use it, it's like I pick up my St. Croix and everything else, and I'm like, I don't want to use it because the rod that he gave to me, I mean, I didn't buy it. He gave it to me just to try out. And, dude, it's so light. It is so sensitive. And one thing I love about, I don't know if you're still doing them this way or if this is just like the standard of your rods, Houston, but the handles on your rods are probably longer than this average handle on like your split handles. Is that correct?
Most of the time, yeah.
And I love that.
You guys,
I love that, man.
Where, actually, check this out. I'll show you the full progression. So, start out.
Oh, before you show us, we gotta get one thing out of the way. Just
talk to me, Goose.
Tell John who your college football team is.
Oh, go Vols, baby.
Oh, I mean, I just assumed that East Tennessee guy.
Yeah. I mean, God's country.
They man, they had a great year last year, so I'm not going to say anything about them there.
That's true. But go ahead.
I hate to make excuses here, but if Josh Dobbs would have been, or Josh Dobbs, okay, you guys can go
way back.
Crucify me now. I mean, it's been good talking to you. I'll see y'all later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm having a brain fart, but if our quarterback, because God forbid I say another name and it not be the right guy.
I forgot his name.
It's fine. It's fine.
Milton.
If you wouldn't have got hurt, Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah. Too many knocks to the noggin, boys.
Right.
But, yeah, if Hendon Hooker wouldn't have got hurt, we'd have went all the way. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, you would have lost to Georgia, but you would have still lost to Georgia.
I mean, we can agree to disagree. That's fine.
Who did Georgia beat in the finals? Like 65-7. Who was that?
TCU had no business being there.
Yeah.
No business.
Yeah.
No business. But anyways, back to the fishing. So what was you about to show us?
No worries. All right. So 99% of my rod handles start with just cork rings.
Yep.
Then you smash them together. Then you do a little bit of turning on it, some sanding.
Okay. When you say smash them together, are you gluing those together? What are you doing?
Yeah. So, all right. Let me back up and go all the way back to the get-go, right?
Okay.
So when we were deployed, my last go around, I've been wanting to do this forever. I was like, man, this is something that I want to do, but it's terrifying, man, because like you've used good rods your whole life, and you know what a good rod's supposed to look like. And you're like, man, I can't measure up to that. You're freaking crazy.
Yeah, it seems like a tough process. Hey, Nathan, you need to stay quiet. Sounds like you've been drinking too much Bud Light, buddy. Just keep it down. He says, good to see me. Nathan says, good to see me catch some fish. Josh must be giving fishing lessons. Nathan, stay off the Bud Light. All right,
that could be highly offensive.
You wanted to, Nathan definitely will not like that. Because he's been on the boycott Bud Light train, like hammering it. So you wanted to build these, and you didn't think you could do it, which it does look very difficult.
Yeah, it's something that was super intimidating, and I was like, "All right, God, if you want me to do this, show me something," you know.
Yeah.
So I kept piddling around with it, and a buddy of mine that I used to party with, a guy named Irby Brown, phenomenal dude, retired from the 82nd Airborne. I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, I know you taught the owner of like 3 rod companies in the East Tennessee area how to make a fishing pole.
Yeah.
Can you run me through the process? Just, you know, I'm not asking for a handout. Like, I'll buy all the stuff.
Right.
You just take me in your shop and show me how to do it." And he's like, "How about this? Come over and tell some more stories with me, and we'll see what we can do." So I was like, "Okay, whatever, man." Went over to his house when I got back, went into his basement that is just this giant shop. And I'm like, "Okay, well, cool. Where's half the shop?" I didn't say anything because I'm like, you don't walk into your buddy's house and is like, "Okay, where's your stuff, dude? What's going on?"
You're right.
Yeah. So, we hung out for a while. And long story short, he had a bunch of tough boxes by the garage door. And, it was good to catch up with a good buddy of mine. But I kind of went there to learn how to make a fishing pole. And he's like, "Well, I guess we better get to loading up." I said, "What are you talking about?" And this man gave me every ounce of rod building material
Oh, nice.
in his shop.
Yeah.
And, here I am about to cry. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I was super emotional. Didn't know what to do. And before I walked out the door, he gives me a hug and he says, "The only thing you owe me is to make it back from every deployment to your family." Boy, he broke me down like a shotgun.
I'm sure.
I'm talking. I got in my truck. I called my wife and I was like, "Babe, she's like, "What is going on? Are you okay? What's happened?" "It's awesome." And I told her, 30 seconds later, she's,
she lost it too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was great.
I mean, that several times you've already said, like, you're just like, "Lord, if that's not a direct answer,
oh well,
I don't know what is." You know
boys,
what I mean?
It gets better. So, I make my first rod, which I gave to my wife. Y'all got to see this Frankenstein monster. Goodness gracious. Actually, she hid it from me because I guess it's that bad. But I make this rod, and I just look at it, and I'm like, "Boy, that's pretty." And, 8 or 10 rods later, I look at it, and I'm like, "What was I doing?"
Right.
And I started just like blind asking people, playing the poor, pitiful soldier card. And I said, "God, I really need to know if you want me to do this. So I need to start off yet again by thanking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me a no crap direct answer of, hey, dummy," because I reached out to Rain Shadow. They're big into saltwater, freshwater. They dabble into everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And they really are some of the best blanks on the planet. So I hit them up, not expecting anything whatsoever. And I threw my Hail Mary, boys. I cocked back and let her ride. And I was like, "You know what? I'm hitting up Gary Loomis, too, just to see what happens."
Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
And
So big.
it was like 2 days later, I get something from first. I get an email from Batson Enterprises. And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of cool." They're probably going to say, "Yeah, we'll offer you a 2% discount. Thanks for your service. Slap on the hind end, and we'll talk to you later."
Right.
Absolutely not. On the other end of that email was the owner of Batson Enterprises, Gary Bill Batson. Sorry. Gary Loomis, Bill Batson.
Yeah.
Bill Batson saying, "Send me your LLC. Welcome to the family." He didn't say, "We will help you." He said, "Welcome to the family." And if
Yeah, that's
that doesn't
cool, man.
tell you right off the bat what kind of people they are, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Second email I get back, I had a phone number attached, and it was kind of wonky, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is one of those computer generated. Suck it, nerd.
Right.
Absolutely not. It was G. Loomis uses North Fork composite rod blanks, and edge rods. They all merged. They're up in like the Seattle, Washington area. And I kind of wrote it off. And then later that day, I got a call, and it was the VP for distributions and stuff. And he more or less welcomed me into the family there too. And at that point, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I just sat down, actually in this chair, and started looking around. And I'm like, this really is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, some
So
people
when you buy blanks from these guys, so you buy them from them and they just send you like, well, I don't even know what it looks like when you get a blank. Do the blanks come as, the different tips, different powers, or is that what you do? Like, do you get medium light blanks, medium heavy blanks? How's that work?
All right, hang tight.
Looks like Tennessee Bassmaster joined up with us. What's up, buddy? Said he loves his Loomis. TB Brock from Somerset. Welcome, TB. Watching on
Tennessee Bassmaster. I started not to go live on YouTube. I was just going to go live in our Kentucky Outdoors group instead, because you can only go live in 3 places. But you are the reason that I stayed going live on YouTube, because I know you're always here. So I appreciate you. Go ahead.
And then Penny C.
Yeah, no worries.
As well. Go ahead.
So I'll order a rod, and it'll come with anywhere from 10 to about 25 of its clones, and it looks like this. These are the carbon wrapped, unsanded blanks, and they'll come whatever power, whatever tip, yada yada yada.
Okay.
And for the customization, somebody say that word.
Customization.
Thank you.
There it is.
There we go. So for that, 99.9% of the guides that I use, just so you guys don't think I'm blowing smoke.
Tennessee, if I were your parents, I wouldn't give you Facebook either.
That's right.
I think he's 14.
So I'm using Fuji, American Tackle, and Alps guides 99.9% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So a buddy of mine told me, he's like, hey, if you're going to do it right. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I'm like, I wish other people got hooked up the way I did. So I was like, you know what? Baseline across the board, 100 bones. And I'm going to stick that way until it gets to the point to where I am swamped.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm already swamped, but that's okay, because I still enjoy doing this. Plus, it gives me 5 minutes away from the crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, so what? So I don't think. Do you have social media pages that like Facebook page and stuff for this, or how are you marketing this? Are you just selling it to friends right now? What are you doing?
So the crazy thing about it is, number one, I expected this to go nowhere. I gave like 8 or 10 people a rod, and I'm like, hey, I want you to try this out. Give me some honest feedback. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's okay, all right on. But if you like it, let me know. And my uncle was one of the first dudes I made a rod for, and he calls me, and he's like, dude, I just caught 4.5 pound smallmouth on this. The tip is perfect. everything is phenomenal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, send me a picture. So,
yeah.
when he sent me a picture, he's holding his rod up and holding that smallmouth. And I'm like, this is great. Well, same dude tells me to make him a swim bait rod. Excuse me. So I make him a 7.5 swim bait rod, and Big Al's like 6'5", 270 pounds. So I'm like, all right, I'm not giving him the little bitty baby handle. So I made him a longer handle. And once I made that longer handle, he's like, dude, your split grips are way too far apart.
Okay.
I was like, but you're huge. Like, that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, when St. Croix started making their glass rods more or less a pistol grip rod, I wanted to throw up.
Yeah.
I loved the way that they used to have their rods set up because it feels good in your hands. You can actually work a bait. You can do what you need to do. And then they started making those shorter grip rods, I guess, for people with Burger King hands, but I'm not real sure why they did that. They absolutely lost me. I can't talk too much smack on them. I love them. I've got 3 of them. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, that's usually what I use too. Yeah.
But
dude, the fact that you're selling them for $100, I just wish people that are watching and that will be watching later on after it's recorded understood that. I wish they understood the quality, and dude, they would buy 10 at one time. they really would. I can't explain to them how good the quality of the rods you're making is. It seriously is incredible. And I intend on, I'm not buying. There's no way I'm going and ordering St. Croix anymore, man. It's going to be you. 100% of the time, it's going to be you.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. Like, I'm just a one-man band blessed by Jesus right now. That's the only thing I got going for me is Jesus and a smoking hot wife. But
I think that's all we need,
Yeah.
That's all we need.
For real.
So how are you shipping these to people?
So far it's been word of mouth.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. I told some other Army folks and I told some people back home. Yeah. And before I knew what happened, I'm getting Facebook messages and Instagram messages. Hey man, you still making rods? I'm like, I just started like a year ago. What do you mean am I still making rods? Of course I'm still making rods. And they're like, hey, I'm just wondering, can you make me an 8-foot heavy action whatever? I'm like, well, the only stuff I've got in stock right now is like 7.5 at most. And they're like, well, if you can get me that within like 5 or 6 days, that would be great. And I'm like, holy smokes. Who are you, for starters? It's like, where do you live? Do you want me to ship it to you? Do you want me to bring? Who are you? It's like, oh crap, sorry, I'm da-da-da-da-da. I heard it from this guy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
So it's
let me ask you a question. So this is the one you made me. Don't have a reel on it actually right now because I've been cleaning my reels. But like in this area, so mine is like probably, I would say, one of the first you made, was it not?
It was, I think, out of the first 14 I made, that was like number 10.
Yeah, that's right. So I asked you to make purple and black because of my dad. My dad loved the color purple. And like I said, I love this rod. Are you putting any designs on the handles or at the bottom of the rod at all now?
Oh, absolutely. I just started getting into, so I've got one right here that I'm making for a good buddy of mine. I actually took this one off. And by the way, you'd think foam is super easy to work with. Boy, howdy, it's a pain in the butt. So these are just super simple orange and white chevrons on a gray backing.
That's pretty cool, though.
I'd say it's easy to say that's a Vols fan.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some other stuff that I've been working on. It hasn't completely turned out the way I like it yet. I wish I still had some of the abalone wrapped rods that I've made. Unfortunately, I gave those away to family because when your oldest brother says, hey, that looks really cool, can I have it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. And then
Right.
after the fact, you're like, crap, send me a picture.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I can't because whatever.
Yeah, right. Jimmy Carroll, he's a loyal follower to Eastern Outdoors Media and Bass Fishing Live. And I was actually going to ask you this a while ago. He said, where can he order one? I'm assuming people are just messaging you. Is it on Facebook? Like if Jimmy wanted one, how could he tell you what?
Yeah,
he wants
absolutely.
Get it?
So my Instagram, I think it's Huey HUEY.Buford BUFORD 423. Maybe somebody can fact check me on that. Give me the little red X.
Here's what I'm wondering though: is you've never shipped one, and shipping a fishing rod is expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I needed to send one of mine back to Tackle Warehouse once, and I didn't have the. So they send them in the really long cardboard tubes. Well,
I've got PVC pipe for days, brother.
Yeah, I'd kind of messed mine up messed my cardboard tube up, and when I went to UPS to kind of put something together, ship it back, it was outrageous. I just ended up keeping it and getting somebody to repair it. But that's what I'm wondering. If I wanted a rod from you, if Jimmy wants a rod from you, is that even possible right now?
I mean, most likely.
Yeah.
I don't have an LLC yet. I don't have a website up. As soon as and again, this is within the next year thing is when I'm actually going to be pumping everything out because I've already caught some heat because I guess there's a F3 outdoors like
there's probably several
group.
F3,
Yeah.
F2, F4, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a name nowadays, but I don't know. There's there's not going to be a F3 custom rods.
I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. Hey, real quick. So Jimmy, again, he said that he currently right now, he has family working at Fort Campbell doing roofing, and they could pick it up for him. So is it possible? One, Jimmy, can you hit me up and let me know who it is and how long they're going to be here?
Jimmy, send me the specs, dude. What you need?
Yeah, let him know, and we'll get it all figured out. Just let us know what you want, Jimmy. I did type in, so if you have Instagram, I'm not sure if you do, Jimmy. It is Huey.Buford423 on Instagram. I typed that in the comment section, so if you want to go check out his stuff on Instagram, you can. And then Jimmy, hit me up personally. Just message me. I actually won't be at work tomorrow, but start Monday I will. And when Houston gets it done, we can grab that for you and give it over to your family, and they can bring it back to you. Let's see, yeah. Alan Gray, I got more cardboard tubes for you, Huey, if you need.
Hey, you remember the guy I was telling you that said I needed to check my stuff and my butt sections were too long?
Yeah, that's him.
What's up, Big Al?
Oh man. So what are you doing right now?
All right. So I'm gonna let me tag this off because I have attention span issues and I'll forget about it and it'll look like crap later. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's something that I've noticed over the past year that, I wouldn't have even second guessed. I wouldn't have even looked twice at it. So I challenge you guys to do this too. When we get off of here, go check your rods and just look at the wraps. That's all I want you to do is look at the wraps and tell me how much silver you see or black or whatever color. If you've got, purple wraps, green wraps, what have you. After I started doing this, I started noticing all the details that go into this. And one thing I can say, these wraps are tight.
So you're saying no space in between the wraps?
No space.
I got you.
So
is these bigger companies like you're actually like doing the wraps yourself. For these bigger companies, I assume they have machines that are doing all this for them, correct?
So right now I'm being anally retentive because this is blaze orange.
Right.
Again, for another Vols fan.
Yeah.
But this is actually a power wrapper.
Okay.
Right.
I have a rod I just recently bought.
Yeah.
So what am I looking for? How do I know
Okay.
if it's good quality?
So
And I won't tell you the company. Maybe you can tell by the
okay, so I know that rod, and I was looking at them too. But so look at the color transition
hold on.
on. What
Go
I
ahead.
need you to do is look at the color transition on the wraps.
Okay. From gray to blue
Yep.
or silver to blue. Okay. What about it?
Once you look at the transition from the silver to blue,
Yeah.
you might notice, because again, I was looking at those and I was like, man, and my wife was actually the one, she tickled me to death. She said, man, this is some shoddy work if I've ever seen it. I was like, what are you talking about?
That's funny.
When you look at it, you can see the spacing sometimes between the threads, which isn't a terrible thing. It's not. It's just that attention to detail for some of that stuff.
Yeah, there's a little, maybe some extra glue on that one. Now this wrap though is just that's just solid black. The rest of them are. So
So
this is a Shimano rod, SLX. This is their. I had to make sure I turned my ceiling fan off. That's why I got up. So, but this is one of their budget rods. This is the SLX. I got it and the reel for $150 total, so I bought it.
Was that when we were at the Classic?
Yeah, this is a. I mean, I still got the tag and everything on. This is a just like a spinnerbait, chatterbait type rod.
Yeah. Before we go any further, let me clarify. I'm not talking crap on any big name rods.
No,
I'm not talking crap anywhere.
Oh, of course.
I'm just saying that once you get into that spectrum of selling rods,
yeah.
Because I even had a buddy of mine. He'll probably hop on and check this out. If not tonight, later. He's a big crappie guy now. He used to bass fish with me and walleye and everything else with me all the time.
Yeah.
And I made him a crappie rod. And I was mad at myself. And I was like, dude, there's one eye on there that has just ticked me off. Like, I don't know what happened, but it was barely off, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you can make those specs on the rod and da-da-da-da-da, and you can send it to a company, and they'll actually start making those rods for you, and you get like a percentage or whatever, And the more I thought about it, at first I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, how great would it be to get paid to come up with one thing and then be just balling out of control?
Right.
Yeah.
And now I thought about it and I'm like, every F3 rod until like I retire or I get some like close friends that want to come learn how to wrap rods, these are going to be handmade. Because that small attention to detail, even just like, so the spacing for guides, there's recommended spacing, and I've done it on a couple of my rods. And, the thing is, if you're doing it for, I don't know, we'll say a jerkbait rod.
Right.
The spacing between the last eye and the tip will have a little bit of room. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, then you get out in the backyard or in the creek or wherever. I got a creek right behind my house. That's where I test like 90% of these things to make sure that, I'm going to hand somebody a rod that they're not going to cast twice and it's going to go kapow and turn into dust. But even that little gap of spacing, when you actually set the hook or you put a lot of pressure on it, that line will touch the rod blank. And where it's not a huge deal, that's also like kind of going against the integrity of the entire system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've even kind of went against what most rod makers are supposed to do by following like this set guide spacing. So this rod's supposed to have 7 guides.
See, Jimmy.
What's that?
Jimmy's he's leaving for the night. I was just telling him bye.
Bye, Jimmy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
But,
actually what I was thinking of. So you said you were doing the wraps and how tight the wraps were. I think of jigs because you can go buy a jig, a Strike King jig, and it's got the old rubber band on there.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it comes off, never fails. But we've got a guy up in Auburn, Kentucky, Bought Me Baits, that hand ties all of his jigs and sells them for half the price. And they're excellent. And I know it takes a lot more time, but the quality is just, it's there.
Amen to that.
It's just there. It really is.
The same fella that I used to bass fish a lot and was telling me about pretty much everything I need to do business wise. Well, the only reason I trust him is the fella used to own BJ's Custom Lures. And I still have like 25 boxes of his jigs. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, if you see this crap behind me, all these walls and stuff,
Yeah.
that's fishing stuff. I have a problem. I have a problem.
I don't know how between the Army and your family and making rods, I'm guessing you don't get to fish a whole lot.
Brother, the last time I got to fish was actually at an Army school. And my wife started thinking I was just down there on vacation, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get too deep into it, but, you know, I had a great time. I ended up catching like 150 Spanish mackerel and one little bitty baby king mackerel. And I was like, this is the best day of my life.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, it's one of those things. Number one, you pick your battles.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my wife is probably one of, and this is not me saying this because she can probably hear me, but she is one of the top 5 best fishermen I've ever met because she has patience.
Yeah.
Case in point. And she also doesn't give up. Yet again, case in point. She is a Cajun baby. So she hates, and when I say hates, I mean hates the cold. Yeah. But I'll be as honest with you as I can be. If you want to catch your personal best smallmouth bass, you have got to get your butt out in the cold, especially in our area.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You
the big ones.
You said she has patience, dude, to put up with you all the time.
That's what I said. Case in point. What more do you want?
Oh, okay, yeah. She definitely she's got to have some good old patience, dude. I'll tell you though, we were on. It was at work one day. It was back last year, and I remember you started working down the hallway from me, and I went in to the office. I don't think you'd been there for a bit, and then I don't know how we got to talk. I hadn't even met you before, and I remember we started talking. We mentioned fishing. Next thing you know, you're kind of, you're just like me. You talk loud, got a little bit of an accent, and you're all about fishing. And you had to go do something. And Evan looks at me and goes, "I think you just made a best friend, dude."
Yeah.
I was like, dude, where's this guy been? Like, I've been here for 5 years and I've not met him yet.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. As soon as that 5 o'clock whistle blows, I'm homebound, baby.
Yeah, I don't blame you, bro.
Here lately, it's been a lot earlier than that for me. So
it is what it is. Uncle Sam sometimes has his perks.
Right.
Houston, if you're at home on Saturday and you have a lot of orders, how many rods are you making a day?
So if I am cooking and the honeydew list is short, which I have 3 kids.
Right. So let's say they're all gone to the water park, and you're home by yourself.
The most I've made in one day. So, it's a painstaking process in the fact of first you got to get all your stuff ready. So
yeah.
if I say that I could make 10 rods in a day, which yes, I can get 10 rods assembled and get them on the dryer,
Yeah.
but that's round one.
Okay, gotcha.
If people want, some of the really cool customized abalone stuff that I've been doing, or if they want wraps or this, that, or the other, I can get, I'd say, 7 to 10 rods actually turning in a day. I actually got hooked up by Mud Hole Tackle. I've got a 4-rod dryer that's actually above my setup right here.
Yeah.
So that way I can at least have 5 rods at a time turning. And what I mean by turning is there's a 2-part epoxy that goes on. It's a finish that goes on the eyes. So what you guys see right here with the thread holding it on, that is actually attaching it, but that's not like permanently attaching the guide to the rod, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'll be honest with you on this part. I'm not sure how this 2-part turns to like the fiberglass looking stuff. I'm not a scientist here, but it's pretty freaking cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
That usually takes 24 hours for it to set up and dry correctly. And so it's a 2-day process to get 7 to 10 rods done.
Okay, so you could do 10 in a weekend.
Oh,
if you're hustling. Yeah, there you go.
Scott Butler is finally with us. Scott, I just want to say, I don't get on the show very often on Tuesdays anymore. It's usually just John and Mike. And when I get on there, you're one of the first people to comment. But on Bass Fishing Live on Thursdays, you're one of the last to comment. So I need you to get here a little more on time, okay? Need you to.
He's either been fishing or drywalling.
One of the two. And then Alan Gray said he ain't kidding. She can fish.
Hey, Scott, do you drywall? Do you come down to Frankfurt? Because as soon as they fix my roof, I'm going to need somebody to fix some drywall from the leaking roof. But if I'm waiting on the insurance company to drive.
Hey, Jimmy Carroll has already sent me a message. He said, I sent Houston a request on Instagram. He said, I mostly do farm and pond fishing. He likes a 6'6" to 6'9" for crankbaits, etc. I think more of like an all around type rod,
spinning or casting.
And that he said he's planning on a trip looking for peacock bass this next year.
Woo! You need a medium heavy, my man.
So 6'6" to 6'9".
Spinning rod or a casting rod?
Let me ask him: spinning or casting?
I'm gonna have to place an order too. I don't know what I want though, but
I want one of everything. Is what I want. Specific. Oh yeah. Do you? I think we talked about it. You are making
double price.
You are making crankbait rods, jerkbait rods. You're making any type of rod, correct?
Amen to that, brother. So right now I've still got, not going to lie to you, but I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark here and say that I still have 8 fiberglass rods. And those fiberglass rods are the rain shadow rods. And, I've had some fellas be like, oh, I ain't about that fiberglass mess. All right, bro. Have you ever picked one up and actually used it? Yes, they're super floppy, but they are tough as nails. I can literally make any rod you want. I've been starting to venture out into some big fish rods, which I have been made fun of so many times because I like to use meat rods and I like to use ultralights. And that is my jam. All the stuff in between is kind of silly to me.
So when you say big fish rods, you mean like you're throwing like a Alabama rig, or you mean like you're catching catfish?
Brother, I just put in an order, which they're backstocked right now. And when my wife hears this, she's probably not going to be too happy, but she loves me, thank God. I just put in an order for 4 8-foot extra heavy action blanks. And with those extra heavy action blanks, with a soft tip, you can throw anything from an Alabama rig to a 9-ounce musky plug.
Wow.
So that rod is literally only limited by your imagination. If you tell me you want your name on it, you tell me you want so Mudhole has some little naked mermaid stickers. Josh, I know you'd like that.
Oh, I'd love that.
If I wanted to get kicked out of my church family, I'd probably stick 1 or 2 on my rods, but unfortunately I like and love them.
Do you with if you order 4 blanks, does that just make 4 rods?
That's just 4 rods.
Okay.
I did order some fly rod blanks because I opened my mouth before I thought.
Yeah.
There was a fella that asked me if I made fly rods. And I said, yeah. That was a lie. I never made a fly rod in my life. And when he gets on here, he's going to be like, what the crap? But
That's funny,
again, I reached out to the folks over at Batson, and they gave me an insane deal. Also want to go ahead and throw out Get Bit Outdoors. All 3 of those guys that work in there, they're actual like guides and captains and stuff.
Yeah.
And they left a bad taste in my mouth when I ordered like right after a hurricane. Well, I didn't know I ordered right after a hurricane, you know. And they ended up hooking me up, like straight hooking me up. But anyway,
Good
Heck
deal.
yeah.
Eddie,
I got this.
I'm sorry. Eddie was asking about the price range. Eddie, they're $100.
Yeah. I was like, you know, I like this guy a lot, so I was kind of messing around with him, and I know he's got, you know, Van Staal fly reels, and he's got all this other crap. And Bobby, if you're watching, hang tight. Your blank's right here, dude.
Hey, while he's grabbing that real quick, so one, Eddie, what's going on, brother? How you doing, Scott? Bub, looks like Bub Tackett's in here. What's up, brother?
Yeah, Bub said those big rods are good pay lake rods.
They like rods.
We're not endorsing pay lakes, brother.
And then before, because we're cutting, I want Houston to be able to show that rod. If you're just joining us, I'm just letting you know, I'm not saying this because Houston's on here. His rods are on $100.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I have St. Croix. I have Shimano's. I got.
Josh, you're breaking up pretty badly. Is he breaking up on your side, Houston?
He sure is. I didn't know if my phone was just crapping out again.
No, it's him. So what Josh is saying is he has one of Houston's rods, and out of all the rods he's owned, it's his favorite. So Houston's uses quality blanks. He's been doing this for a while. He's perfecting it, and so that's why we had him on here to kind of go behind the scenes. But it's such a tedious job; it's hard to kind of see in one sitting, you know.
Oh, absolutely, and I would not quite say perfecting. I would say still learning at best.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like anything else. Anything that you have a passion for, you're going to find new tips and tricks all the time that either speed up the process or just look a lot better, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Something just like this little fold that I just did. So wrapping the guides, another fella taught me, he's like, you know, instead of going through all that stuff, you can literally just wrap it over on itself, wrap it 3 times and cut the excess. I'm like, holy smokes. That's genius. Why did I not think of that?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure there's the more people you talk to that are doing this, the more tricks of the trade. It's kind of like I talked to a guy the other day, and he is a taxidermist. And I said, man, I'd love to. He doesn't live too far from me. I said, I'd love to come out and just kind of take some video of you going through the process. And he said, man, anytime you want to do that, we will. He said, but I have some little tips and tricks that I use that are just mine that I don't want to show on camera. And I said, I totally understand. You know, you got to, you know, that's how he makes money. So I'm sure as you go, you're going to find your own little tricks there. It says, Houston, do you spine your rods? If so, could you explain the process?
Oh yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
what that means.
So the spine of the rod, it's just like lumber, right? There's a spine in lumber, no matter how it's cut. I do somewhere have a little. It's not the mud hole rod spining kit.
Yeah.
But it's just a little piece of foam, and more or less what you do is you put pressure on the backbone and pressure on the middle of the blank, and whichever way that rod naturally wants to snap back to, you'll be able to find it. And that's another big point, right?
Yeah.
So some of the cheaper rods that you'll see, when you see everybody put the tip of the rod to the floor and they're like, yeah, and it's like, do you know what you're doing? They're like, yeah, absolutely, I'm checking the stuff.
Right.
Checking the sensitivity. No, you're not. You don't know what you're doing. You seen some dude at Bass Pro Shop do that, and you thought it looked cool.
Can y'all hear me and see me?
Yeah. A little fuzzy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I tried to get back on the computer. I'm on my phone now, so we're here. We're here.
So I was explaining spining a rod, but on the casting rods, the spine is on the top side, and on the spinning rods, the spine is on the bottom. That's just the natural bend of the rod. You don't. And you guys have probably seen or heard of this.
Yeah. Keep going. Just keep going, Houston.
No worries. So you guys have probably felt a rod that, it's like, man, I really like this rod, but every time I hook a fish or every time I do this, it just kind of wants to turn out of my hand.
Yeah.
That means the spine is off, but even if it's off a little bit, you can definitely feel it.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt sometimes to get the actual spine, because some rods have false spines, which I know that sounds ridiculous. And you're sitting here with either like expo marker or a grease pen, you're like, all right, I got it. And then you'll put the reel seat on with sitting here, just pimping out pro paste. But once you get your reel seat and your rear grips and stuff on, you'll have that rod spined, what you think is the actual spine. And the way I'll do it, after I've got that stuff on there, I'll just take the middle of the rod and I'm like, okay, this is where it needs to be. And sometimes it rolls and I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. So you got to get that stuff set up before that pro paste actually locks into place, because that's what even the big name rod brands use, is the pro paste to get it locked in there.
Yeah. Eddie said he's had rods that always cast left or right in his bad spine.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That happens. It could be operator error. Just kidding. Don't hate me.
With me, it definitely is, for sure.
No, that's a big deal. Especially like if you're going with bigger crankbaits, swim baits, A-rigs, stuff that you've actually got some girth to, or if you're even doing super light stuff like some of the small, like Little John crankbaits, you can definitely tell the difference in some of those. Sorry, this is my anal retentiveness kind of kicking in again. I saw a little bit of gap right there, but
so Jimmy said he wanted a 6'6" to 6'9" medium heavy casting rod, and he would like it if you could tie in the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks.
That is funny.
Uno momento, por favor.
That is good. So Dwayne says that he would like to have a new rod. So Dwayne, you can reach out. Reach out to Josh, Dwayne.
Is that blue and green work for you, brother?
He's not on here anymore, but I think it does.
Just kidding.
It's more of the blue's a little darker than that, the Seattle blue, but it would work. Probably after.
Bam.
I think that looks good. Jimmy would be good with that. I know Jim. He'd be fine with that. He would appreciate the effort.
So I've got some other stuff I could do as well. I could get. Oh, that's duh. So any team logo for the most part. I can usually get those. I can get Punisher skulls. One thing that I'm going to start doing on as many rods as I can get my hands on, there's these little bass silhouettes that are the American flag. I'm going to start sticking those on 90% of my rods.
Do you have oh.
Go ahead. Josh is struggling.
Can you hear me?
Josh is struggling.
Can you hear me?
Eddie's,
it looks like a Colgate commercial now. We see nothing but teeth, bro.
Eddie, Houston is Houston is in the Army at Fort Campbell, Eddie. So he's out there with Josh at Fort Campbell. Yeah. So, well, Josh, I'll let you wrap up the show when you're ready. You guys, well, he's gone. So anyway, Houston, we usually stop around 10, man, and but we'll let you get back to. I guess it's 9 your time. It's 10 hours. We'll let you get back to making that rod there. I know you keep checking it and seeing little blemishes that you're fixing here and there. So
I'm ridiculous. Just love me.
Yeah. Are they all white like that?
No, absolutely not. These are some of the blanks that I got
okay.
I got a really awesome hookup on, and when I first got them, I went through them at least 10 times because I was like, okay, there's no way that I'm getting this blank for this price.
Yeah.
But yeah, I most definitely got the blank that I was told for the price I was told, and I said, okay, well,
there you go.
I'm going to run this till the wheels fall off, and I have a feeling that the wheels may fall off soon.
What do you what I was asking, can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You better hurry and do it though.
I don't know what happened. Do you put F3 custom rods on your rods?
So I am looking for any and every opinion. If somebody wants to make like the coolest F3, I've got a couple coming from Mudhole. I don't know what they're actually going to end up looking like. I just know the name, and I know where they're going to go. That's about all I know at this point.
Right.
So far, people just get the data plate, and I've stuck the SF crest on a couple of them, and I've stuck a big old Tennessee Power T on a couple of them. Because, I mean, it's God's country, you know?
Heck yeah. Hey, if you're in the comments section, I know I've been gone for a minute, but I've heard people or seen people saying that they want a rod and stuff. If you're wanting a rod from Houston, if you want an F3 custom rod, you can hit me up directly. I can definitely, if you want something specific and we can figure it out, you just give me what you're wanting. I can let Houston know, or you can hit him up on his Instagram page and you can message him and tell him exactly what you're wanting. But if you're having issues or anything, or like just getting a hold of him, because I think Instagram, I assume you do you have Facebook?
I do have Facebook, I think. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask my wife. I don't know. I have Messenger.
What is Instagram the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Instagram or Facebook Messenger. I think you have to have a Facebook to have Messenger. But...
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Then I've got a Facebook. Cool.
Okay. So there we go.
Okay.
So you can hit him up, or you can hit me up, and we can figure it out.
Is it just Houston Tittle on Facebook?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
I think.
What does it say when you're on Messenger?
I don't know. Let me look.
Oh, dude, I follow you on Facebook. I'm an idiot.
Oh. Well, what's it? Josh, what's it say when I'm on Facebook? Dude,
Houston Tittle. He's wearing a looks like it's Christmas time, and he has a deer sweater on.
Oh, dear
Okay,
Lord.
there you go. There you go.
Who are you standing there with? Is that your brother and your dad?
That is two of my closest friends. That is Daniel Wilson and Glennard.
Okay, I got you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Backwards cap.
Yeah. So let me just go ahead and explain myself real quick. I used to be able to, I could probably drink most alcoholics under the table, and then God said it was time to quit, so I quit. So anything you see on that Facebook page,
there's a lot of old stuff.
Your own digging.
Yeah, Eddie says it's time for a new profile picture, Houston.
Scott Butler said, "I can't help it, John. Have you gained weight?"
I've tried to respond. It's all the peach L8s I've been drinking.
The who's?
Peach L8. Have you ever heard of L8?
Bro, what?
It's
No.
a Kentucky drink. It's an L8. It's made here in Kentucky. I don't know. It's Central Kentucky. It's easy to find L8. Well, here I got one right here. This is not a peach. You ever seen that?
I've never heard of her, but
Well,
we have something similar in East Tennessee called Dr. Enough. And I promise you, if you're at your local Cracker Barrel, you'll find one.
Yeah.
You need to pick one up because it's going to change your life.
It's not as
Does it
good as an
taste
L8, but
Does it taste like ginger ale?
It tastes like heaven, Josh.
so L8 just came out with a peach, and I've had a hard time finding it, probably because I've drank it all.
Well, that's why you should just switch to Dr. Enough and be a real man. Because enough is enough. Dude, I should get like sponsorships for this stuff. Are you kidding me right now? I've thrown out ProPace, Dr. Enough, Get Bit Up. Lord have mercy.
Is your mom's name Penny?
Why are you hitting on my mom, bro?
Well,
she said that you need a new Facebook page.
Oh. Well, she's probably right. Yes, hi, mama.
Josh, how far are you guys from Dayton, Tennessee?
Dayton.
Let's say 3.5 hours, 4 maybe.
Hey, if somebody's willing to take
you're
me
not
out,
3.5 hours from Dayton, Tennessee.
If somebody is willing to take me out from the Dayton boat ramp, aka the home of the 40-pound bag, I got you a rod, bro.
How far are you from that?
We're about 245.
2 hours and 45 minutes to that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was much closer.
Yeah, I did too until one of my best friends wanted to go down there. And I said, dude, I ain't waking up at 2:25 to go catch a morning bite. Like, I love you, but that's stupid.
I don't know. There's some good morning bites down there, brother.
I understand. Home of the 40-pound bag. However, I ain't waking up at 2:45 for nothing but my wife for screaming youngins.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
So for me in Hopkinsville, from where I'm at, it is 3 hours and 30 minutes to Dayton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. I did not think.
Houston, you probably live, I'd assume you live down in the Clarksville side.
I am smack dab in the middle of this purgatory infested place.
Yeah. So he's a little bit closer. Clarksville's about 30, 35 minutes for me. So it makes sense.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll go to Dayton for whatever reason I can get away with it. But
Tennessee might meet you down there. Now, Tennessee's going to need some help. He's only 14, so his dad will have to take him. But they might meet you down there, and you can drop him off a rod. He'll take you out.
He said I've caught a 27-pound bag once.
27-pound bag is not too bad.
No?
I reckon not.
No, not at all.
Hey, Josh, you got that picture of them smallmouth? Is there any like Facebook magic you can spin to show that?
Yeah, John, pull up that picture I sent you earlier. Also, your mom said anyone in the Johnson City area or within a 50-mile radius, I can deliver rods. So I will say, Penny and Houston, just so you're aware, our hometown is Harlan, Kentucky. We're only, how far is it, John? An hour and 30 minutes?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
From Johnson City, and a lot of our viewers are from that area. Quite a few. So
nobody watching is from that area.
Not right now, no.
Tennessee, I think, is from Knoxville. I think he's from Knoxville.
Which ain't far.
No, it's not far.
Not at all.
So, Josh, I want to share this, and then I'm going to have to go because my girls are texting me they're hungry. They tried to pour cereal, and we're out of milk, so I'm a bad father.
No, Tennessee lives in Dayton, John.
Oh, he lives in Dayton. Oh, I don't know why I thought he was in. Well, heck, there you go, Tennessee. They're down. They'll meet you.
I will come down to Chick in a heartbeat, man. I've never been, and I'm
Dude,
dying.
Dayton is not.
That's not
is Dayton. Oh, Dayton. Okay. What am I thinking of? The boat ramp.
You're thinking.
That is Dayton boat ramp.
You're talking about in Chattanooga, right?
No, I'm talking about the Dayton boat ramp. I'm talking about the boat ramp in Tennessee. I'm talking about Paris. I'm talking
Paris
about the Paris
Landing?
boat.
Paris
Yeah,
Landing.
Paris.
Oh,
Yuck.
That's what I was thinking of. No, Dayton is Chickamauga. Yeah, that is. But it's worth the drive. I'm telling you, it is. It's
John,
worth the
zoom in a
drive.
little bit on that. Jesus,
Loves you.
can you see those?
Oh yeah.
I'm there, Houston, dude. That's an incredible day. That's for sure.
So
What was?
You only got 4 though. You're missing your 5th.
sweetheart, those were our second round that we had released.
Oh,
And then Blake looked at me and said, "Dude, we need pictures or nobody's going to believe this." So let me just throw this out there. If anybody, and I know you guys got to go. If anybody wants to
I
have,
lost it.
You can go ahead.
Keep talking.
no, you're good. That picture right there is pretty sweet too. Dadgum, that was with Blake too. Son of a gun. Anyhow, if you want to have the best day of smallmouth fishing or largemouth fishing in your life, barring going to Canada or somewhere up north, I'm telling you, East Tennessee is freaking magic, man. Ott Defoe will say the exact same thing. He's from like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from where I'm from. His home lake is Cherokee. My home lake is, well, anyhow, my home lake is Watauga / Boone Lake. Both of those absolutely phenomenal. Catching anywhere from 30 to 40 fish in a day is not super uncommon.
Mhm.
It's a great time. There's guides everywhere. 90% of them are close friends of mine. Brandon Stanley being one of them. Reach out to that cat. He will show you the ways, and you will have a freaking ball.
Heck yeah.
Have you fished Smith Lake?
Smith Lake, Alabama?
No. Tennessee?
Nope.
I thought
Maybe.
I thought Smith Lake was Alabama.
Well, there's probably Smith Lake in every state, but I'm talking about the Tennessee Smith Lake, where I think that's where, or maybe I'm mixing it up with Virginia, but I think it's Tennessee where they stock those F1 bass, the Florida bass.
That's in
Roham, that is
No, that's
Boone
Virginia.
Lake.
So
Virginia.
yeah, Boone Lake is Tennessee, and they stock there. Smith Lake is Virginia. So Boone Lake, really good largemouth, I guess.
Boone Lake is, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, they stock a crap ton of those
Yeah.
in there, and they've already just started. I guess they started booming because the TWRA shocked the water a while back, and it wasn't uncommon to find 2 and 3 pounders, and that's within like a year and a half to 2 years time.
Yeah.
But Boone Lake is a striped bass striper lake.
Mm.
You will catch some of the biggest striper that you've ever heard of out of that lake.
Like
People
Cherokee.
Oh yeah, people go all over the world looking for striper, and I can't tell you how many bass tournaments I have been. Just I'm talking smack dab in the middle of, and I see 4 foot long, what looks like great white sharks launching themselves out of the water for shad, and I'm like, you know what? I'll take that $25 loss. Let's go catch some of those.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, it's fun. Our uncle takes probably once a year. Takes me or John out striper fishing on Cherokee or Norris. I'm actually trying to go at least once before the summer's over. So,
well, dudes, anytime y'all want to go to East Tennessee and the wifey says, "Let's do this," I'm telling you, you don't want to fish with her. Number one, your pride will be hurt. Number two, again, your pride will be hurt because super quick, and I'll let y'all bounce. I took her Demiki fishing, which if y'all ever want to get into that, you're talking to a guy that has now sold his soul. If he didn't already give it to Jesus, he would sell it to the devil to do Demiki fishing year round. I took her Demiki fishing. Chick catches like 18 smallmouth bass within an hour, smallest one being 4 pounds. And I was like, okay. And then right as we're about to leave, she sucks out a 6 pound smallmouth. And I'm like,
Nice.
I'm ready to take you home. Like, I love you, but I need a nap. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, dudes, I think we better wrap it up. I bet my youngin is probably ready to go to bed as it is.
I'd
We just
say
had-
2 of the 3 are passed out for me.
Yeah, mine are still waiting on. They're mad because we don't have milk and they're wanting cereal. So,
William,
but you know what? We don't have milk because they already had cereal once today. So, hey, Houston, we appreciate you, man. I know you're. It's hard to do this while you're in the middle of literally making a rod, but we got some people that wanting to order some, and I want to do the same. So, I guess we better let you get back to it because you're
No, right on. And hey, just to let you guys know, as far as I can, or as long as I can, I'm going to give you guys like replacement warranties too. Just give me the rod that has exploded. If there's been something crazy happen, just talk to me. Be honest with me, and I'll replace it.
Yeah, and Tennessee says once he gets the money, he's going to order one too. So, yeah, if you want to order one from Houston, the best thing is just to either follow him on Instagram, reach out to him there, or just reach out to me and Josh, and we can fix you up. So, Houston, we appreciate you, brother. It's great meeting you, man.
Thanks for having me on here, guys. It's been a blast.
You're a great guy, and that's the kind of guys we like to be around. So we appreciate you. Appreciate your service. Appreciate what you do. Keeping your family and faith first. We like guys like that. So anyway, best of luck to you, man. We hope your F3 custom rods blows up and you're going to have to hire a whole new staff and buy a warehouse and everything just to
got to teach these babies how to make rods, boys.
Yeah, exit the Army earlier than you want. So anyway, bro, we appreciate you. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be live on Eastern Outdoors on Tuesday. We're kind of doing that every other week now because it's summer. And so check us out on there. And we appreciate everybody. Have a good night.
Take care, y'all.
See you, man.